Hey there, Burned In Teachers. Welcome to episode 188 of the Burned In Teacher podcast. In today's episode, we are going to be diving into our third meeting of the Hacking Teacher Burnout Summer Book Study Series for 2023. We're diving into chapter 2, and we're going to be working through Understand Your Teacher Brand. And in this meeting, we are going to awaken your self-awareness and build a teacher brand that you can be proud of. Let's dive in. Your choice to begin and continue working in education should not be taken lightly. But how do you manage it all while keeping that fire burning bright so you can show up in your classroom and in life as your best self every day? That's what this show is all about. Welcome to the Burned In Teacher podcast. I'm Harper, classroom teacher, author of Hacking Teacher Burnout, and with more and more teachers quitting the profession or accepting #teacher misery as their forever reality, I step in as your teacher burnout coach to help you take your next best steps to creating a happier and more fulfilled career and life. Now, let's take one more step forward and out of burnout together so we can burn on. Shall we? Let's go. Hey, what's up, Burned In Teachers? I am jumping in here really quickly, just as I promised on our kickoff episode a couple of weeks ago, to share some of the amazing reflections that some teachers are leaving inside of the Burned In Teacher podcast Facebook community. If you have not joined yet, I highly encourage you to do so. It is really going to help you to connect with other teachers who are beginning to learn this burned in language that you are learning yourself. So go to facebook.com/groups/burnedinteacher. It's totally free. I do ask you a couple of questions. I want to make sure that I'm getting the right people inside of the community. And these teachers that I'm going to share with you today, I'm going to share actually just one reflection that somebody jumped in and really spent some time reflecting on the questions that I was asking them in the past episodes. So this one is from Corinne, and she actually has a very detailed reflection inside of the Facebook community. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but I'm just going to share what she said about her reflection on the introduction and then what her goal is at the end of the book. So, and what changes she wants to see. So her reflection on the intro, where I asked, where are you now in burnout? She said, last year I was burned out and overwhelmed and burned out and unbalanced. This year it's just been more of a burnout and bored. So she's experienced all three different types. I want more than just the four walls of the classroom, but what? So she's really exploring her ideas and dreams and vision for what could be coming down the road that could be outside of the classroom, and that's okay. I asked, what's your goal at the end of the book, and what changes are you going to make, and what do you want to see happen? She said, I'm going to make sure that I implement the strategies that I've learned not only in this book, but also through being a Burned In Teacher University member. I'm very excited for all that I have already learned and continue to implement into my personal and professional life. And that's exactly what I want for you. I want you, as you're moving through this book, as you're engaging in these posts inside of the Facebook community, as you're reflecting on your own journey, I want you to really think about how you can truly implement what it is that you are learning. And I really hope that it's sinking in how serious I am about not just reading the book, but actually engaging in the practices, engaging in the reflections, and engaging in taking action in your own journey. So thank you so much, Corinne, for being so willing to share a part of your own journey and what you want to see happen in your life. This is why I created this podcast community, so that we could begin to change the conversation one teacher at a time. All right, now we're going to dive into today's episode. Your beliefs become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits, and your habits become your values. Your values become your destiny. That's, of course, Mahatma Gandhi. And when I think back and I look back I have a picture of myself. I need to post it inside of the Burned In Teacher podcast Facebook community. I have a picture of myself sitting at my desk. My mother-in-law took it in the summer of it would be 2007. This was before we could say, 2013, 2010. This was the early 2000s. And I was wearing a Beatles shirt, and my hair was in pigtails. I was 24 years old. And oh my gosh, when I see that picture, I think, oh girl, you have no idea what's in store for you. And you have so much to learn. But at that point, I didn't think that I did. In a recent episode before this series started, I had an interview with David Schmittou, and we talked about our egos, and we talked about our lack of seeking and having self-awareness. And gosh, have I learned that self-awareness is one of our most important tools that we can have in our tool belt when we are struggling. And I truly believe that that is one reason that I struggled so much. I had zero self-awareness. And I put myself in many situations where I showed that I didn't want to have any self-awareness because I knew everything. And it's so unfortunate. But again, I can look back and say, that was then, this is now. I've learned and I'm growing. And I know that no matter how long I teach in this profession, I will never have all the answers. I will never be able to say I know exactly what to do all the time. Because let me tell you, there have been some things that have happened this school year. This has been one of my best school years ever. I was just telling my teaching partner, I cannot believe this year is over. It has flown by. This is my 14th year. Now it's done. I have learned so much. There are so many times this year that I'm like, I don't know what to do. And although it was really hard in the moment, I learned, and I'm still learning, and I'm still willing to learn. And I just hope that you can look back on your school year and reflect and think about how much you've learned. And if you haven't, then this is going to be a great chapter for you. All right. So as you read pages 54 through 58, I'd love to know what actions you're going to take. So you were asked to list 3 things that you wanted to take action on and to check them off as you took them. So did you get to check any off? I'm encouraging you at the end of each episode to read the following chapter and to start to take some action. And that, of course, includes reflecting in the Hacking Teacher Burnout book study guide, because this is a way to keep you accountable. And if you have said about yourself, I never finish what I start, well, that is a teacher brand, and we're going to cover that in this chapter, because what you say out loud about yourself will be true. So if you tell yourself that you start things and you never finish, that will be true. But if you tell yourself, no, I don't do that anymore. When I start things, I finish them. I'm going to finish this book. That will be true. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy. But you begin to change your actions and change your outcomes when you change the words that you use, when you change your thoughts, when you change your actions. So in the blueprint for full implementation, you were told how to create your own personal mission statement. So what is it? I invite you to share this inside of the Burn and Teacher Podcast Facebook community. We'd love to see it. Go to facebook.com/groups/Burn and Teacher. We're asking some more engaging questions. We've got some fun little challenges for you inside of the group. I would love to see and hear how it is that you are implementing what you're learning. All right. So step 2 is a big step in this chapter. This is literally what changed everything for me, and one of the reasons that I'm still teaching today. I focused big time on changing my beliefs, my self-talk, and the stories that I tell myself. So after reading this section and learning about the agents of same, what are the stories that you are telling yourself that are keeping you stuck? Because when I think back to 2014, I had, oh my gosh, and this was pre-2014. I'm talking 2007, 8, 9, 10. There were stories and stories and stories that just piled and piled and piled up. And a lot of them were the agents of same talking. They were keeping me stuck. It wasn't until 2014, 2015 that I started to learn that there are other ways of thinking. And this did not come naturally to me. I had always victimized myself. Even as in late elementary, middle, high schooler, I victimized myself, okay? It wasn't really until I was pregnant with our oldest daughter in, would have been 2000, that I actually started to take responsibility for my life. And thank God, right? Because that would be the worst time for me to victimize myself, whenever I have someone else's life in my hands. But it changed me. It changed me. And I hope that you have one of those moments too, where you're like, I gotta take responsibility. Maybe that moment is now. Maybe that moment is you found me on Instagram or someone told you about me and you're like, all right, my moment is now. I'm done. And that is building self-awareness. When you say those words, I'm done, I'm moving on, but you might not know how. This is what this book and this community is all about. So most importantly, what agents of change will you use to help you to combat your agents of same? And this is different for everybody. So on page 62, this will be helpful for you to reflect and to answer that question. Step 3 is about a topic that we will touch on here in this chapter, and then we're going to dive deeper into in hack number 4, okay? But I love exploring habits, okay? That's what we're going to talk about really quickly. So in this chapter, we talk about habits based on really reflecting on who you hang around the most. Why do you hang around them? Is it a habit? Is it convenient? Do you have things in common? And do they affect your teacher brand positively or negatively? This is really something to sit and ponder on for a moment. Are they keeping you stuck? Are they dragging you down? Are they pushing you forward? And those people that pull us down or keep us stuck, in step 4, we call them terror downers, or they are the crabs in our life. These are the people that drag you down. So who are the people that drag you down? Maybe they're not the people that you hang around with at school. These people are just as important to know as the people who build you up. So you know those people that bring a smile to your face, they support you, they encourage you, but you also know the people that don't. It's time. It's time to address this. It's time to bring it to light, because we're going to talk about in a future chapter about what we're going to do about the habits that we have, especially when it comes to hanging around certain types of people. Hey, real quick, I'm jumping in here to let you know that if you're enjoying this summer book study series of Hacking Teacher Burnout, then you would be a perfect fit for Burned In Teacher University. And since you've dedicated yourself to this summer book club, I want to say thank you. So go to burnedinteacher.com/course and enter the code BOOKCLUB, all one word, at checkout for $28 off of forever access to Burned In Teacher University. That's right. You can enroll today, right now, for $99. This online course is more than Hacking Teacher Burnout in course form. In my signature course, you'll find 8 modules of video lessons and bonus resources where I'll guide you through my burned in process to help you move through the 5 stages of burnout. Each module includes self-paced video lessons incorporating a mindset focus and a time and energy focus to set you up for success as you implement the material. And that is something you won't find in the book. So go to burnedinteacher.com/course and enter code BOOKCLUB, all one word, at checkout to get your money back for the $28 you've already spent. And I can't wait to see you inside the course that has changed my life and so many others from around the world. Now, back to the book study series. Step number 5. Brainstorm a list of people who you could say are your top 5 influencers. If we're going to change your life, if we're going to change the way that you feel about your career, you got to improve your circle. You have to improve the people that you're spending the most time with. You do. And this is not mean, and this is not judgmental, and this is not snobby. This is you doing what's best for you. You have to change your environment. You have to change, and I don't mean your school necessarily right now, but you have to change your ecosystem. You cannot grow if you are stuck in cement. You can't. So I want you to find some people that are going to help you grow. All right. So these could be people you intentionally surround yourself with in real life. They could be people whose podcasts you listen to, like mine, or other people, and or people who you follow on Instagram or other forms of social media. All right. I want to leave you with one of the 3 overcoming pushback scenarios that we have in this chapter. I'm loving reading these to you, so I'm just going to go with this, okay? So one of the overcoming pushbacks, again, this is you talking to yourself, all right? If you're telling yourself trying to change, this is just a phase. It's summer, so I'm going to say that things will be different, but they won't be different, okay? This is just a phase, all right? If you're saying that to yourself, I want you to know people often make resolutions in January that quickly become fad goals, swept under the rug as an afterthought by the beginning of February. But this isn't a resolution. This is your brand. This is who you are. You carry it with you everywhere you go, every single day, every single minute. I'm actually ad-libbing a little bit here. I get so passionate about this. When your students or colleagues look at you with a "that's cute," when you tell them that you're working on your teacher brand, hold your head up high and call on your favorite agent of change. Maybe it's capable Carrie, and say, you know what? I'm capable and I'm worthy of changing my brand. I'm capable and I'm worthy of changing how I feel. I'm capable and worthy of changing my life. And this is going to have lasting effects on my career and what I do with my life moving forward. And my friend, listen, you are the only one who can stop you. You are the only one who can stop you. I want you to write that down in your book study guide. I want you to write it on a sticky note. I am the only one who can stop me. Because ultimately, anybody can have any opinion that they want about anything that you've done in the past or anything that you do in the future. But it does not matter. And I know that I'm speaking to an audience of people pleasers who you care what other people think. You might say that you don't, but you do. Therefore, you've lost yourself. And in this chapter, I know that you have found even a small sliver of who you used to be and who you want to become. So that's all for this book club meeting. I would love to see you next week, same time, same day. And we're going to dive into hack number 3, reflect on your challenges. So read pages 77 through 99 and let us know what's resonating with you, what questions you have, what wins you have, what you're realizing. Send us pictures in the Facebook community or out on social media. Just be sure to tag me at @BurnInTeacher if it's outside of the Facebook group, because I want to see what you're doing. I want to see what you're up to. And I can't wait for our next meeting next week. I'll see you then. Burn on. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. To keep this conversation going, connect with me on Instagram @BurnedInTeacher. I'm always ready and willing to have a conversation with you about your burnout and ways I can help you to move through it. If you're looking for support in growing through your burnout in ways you never thought possible, check out my online course, Burned In Teacher University, at burnedinteacher.com/course. I'll see you in the next episode. Burn on.